I left the Houston Symphony in 2006, and it was a very, very difficult decision to make. I loved my job there. I loved the people there. My husband was the associate principal cellist with the opera and the ballet. But I had come to this audition in 1990 and made the finals as a 25-year-old. And it is the best orchestra in the world. And I needed to come back and play on that stage one more time to say that that was my last audition, and I just wanted to give it my best shot. It is the greatest orchestra, and it's known as that. And so to reach that pinnacle, to be a part of this, was something that was always my dream. So my husband encouraged me, and I came, and I had a good day. The other thing that I think is so amazing about this organization is that, and music in general, is that it's such a connection to our past. It is such a link to history. And I think you experience that when you walk in here, that you're part of something far larger than the space of time that we exist on the earth. This season has so much great repertoire. I looked through the brochure with my son the other day, and we were picking out concerts he wants to go to, and I think he had the majority of them listed on his list. Shostakovich 4 we did a few years ago here. It's a fantastic piece, great piccolo writing. There's 6 parts actually, 6 flutes he calls for, so that's I'm looking forward to. Symphonic Metamorphosis we're doing in January along with Prokofiev Romeo and Juliet. I've played Symphonic Metamorphosis once in the last 30 years, so I'm thrilled to get to do it again. It's a fantastic piece, very underplayed, but a great orchestral showpiece. I think the piece I'm most looking forward to is the Bartók Concerto for Orchestra, which this orchestra does quite a bit, as it was born on this stage, and I feel a great responsibility to that sense of history. But the other reason I'm really looking forward to it is that the instrument that I'm playing now, we believe may have been the instrument that the piece was premiered on in the early 1940s. So to have that instrument come back to the Symphony Hall stage is very exciting. It was made for George Mattson, who was the piccolo player in the 30s. And it was made in 1937, first all-wooden piccolo to ever be made by Vern Powell. So I'm bringing that instrument back and playing the piece on that instrument in the end of February. And being amazed, thought it was the most beautiful instrument I'd ever played, and I thought I was just young and stupid. And when I got it back and played it again, and I played it on the Symphony Hall stage, and my son came up, who's a great cellist and good ear, and he goes, "Mom, that sounds amazing. It just sounds like caramel. It's just dark and beautiful." And so it really has done nothing but age well, which my teacher says is the product of a little bit of cigar tobacco and scotch over the years. So whether or not that's true, I don't know. But anybody seen one of those? A recorder. Everybody play these in 3rd grade? Oh yeah, everybody plays these in 3rd grade. This is actually an early flute. Believe it or not, even though I don't hold it to the side, I hold it up and down. It's actually an early flute, and it's made out of wood, but there are no keys on it. Right? It's just holes. You guys all know how to play the recorder. If I know how to play a recorder this one now. Well, it's easy to make a sound on. So that's a recorder. I was not a natural player. I hope I can bring some of that to the students that I work with, and I've worked with students of all ages, from very little beginners the whole way up to quite accomplished graduate students. So I hope to bring some of that knowledge and that effort and experience on my part into my teaching. I think to keep a classical music audience growing, I think it's important to get them while they're young. Start from a young age, get them excited about hearing music, participating in music, being active and listening to music. Get them playing if you can. Those things are all very, very important. I see that every day. It was a huge part of my life. My parents were not musicians, but they loved classical music, and I grew up hearing it. They wanted all of us to play piano. We did. The public school was integral to my beginning as a flutist. I got my instrument in the public school and participated in the band and the orchestras all through junior high and high school. And without that exposure And that sort of community of people, I wouldn't be where I am. And I know many of my friends that participated in that program, they didn't go on to be musicians as I did, but they're lovers of music and lovers of the arts. And so I think promoting the music in the schools is very important. I think it's the mark of a great civilization when we have great music and great art. But also, I think we say classical music is dead, and I look around this city, there are at least 4 youth orchestras I can come up with just sitting here that are bursting at the seams with kids. There are kids out there that are passionate about this stuff, love to play it. I deal with them all the time when I go to those groups to coach. And they come to the orchestra and they're excited about hearing it. So I think once you ignite that passion, there may be a period of time when they're raising their families and dealing with crazy schedules that they don't come to the orchestra, but they come back to it later on. And I think that's what's happened through the years. The thing that concerns me the most is that we're losing it in our schools. And I think that's a problem. And one that I think the BSO is starting to do a very wonderful job of addressing and getting in there and getting musicians in, playing for kids firsthand so they can see us and realize we're people, we love to play, this is what it sounds like, and get them excited about what they're seeing. And once you do that, once you light that fire, then the rest of it over time, I think, will grow and take care of itself. In my free time when I'm not here at Symphony Hall and I'm not practicing, my first job and most important job is to be a mom. And so I spend a lot of time with my 17-year-old and my 13-year-old son and my husband, and we love to travel together and just spend a lot of quality time together. And when you experience 2,700 people in the same room, experiencing the same thing, it's really quite moving. And that's what I hear back from friends that have come to the hall for the first time and experienced the orchestra for the first time. It really is quite something.